What is going on, movie meals? Movie meals. It's too dang early, but you know I love the Oscars. So
Which
we're
means I
figuring
have
out
to get up early.
this first video since I moved, figuring out lighting, new studio, all that jazz. Clearly, I didn't close the closet. Um, but we're here. We're here. The Oscars, the nominations. Let's just jump into this, man. You know I love the Oscars. I love these. I'm so excited to see what we have. And I immediately just looked at Best Picture and I am absolutely shocked at a movie. So I'm ready to dive into this. Um,
Start with that big one then.
First, thank you to Movie Meal patrons, Kimberly, Karen. Thank you guys for all your support. Yeah, let's jump into this. So I assume we have the same order, starting with Best Picture, or did you start at the bottom?
No, I've seen Best Picture right now.
Okay, so this is the first year they're doing 10. We've got Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, West Side Story. I have not seen Licorice Pizza. That's the one that jumped out to me. But from what I have heard is that this movie is not good. I mean, I've heard it from a lot of people that I trust. So I am now even more curious to see it. I was going to skip it after so many people said they didn't like it. And that being on here is a shocker. Same with Don't Look Up. I think Don't Look Up was a very not good movie. I just didn't personally find it funny. It wasn't the message, it wasn't the satire, it wasn't who they were poking fun at. I just truly thought it was not funny. I thought it I had a few good jokes. I thought there were storylines that weren't needed in this movie. I just don't love it. What I do love is King Richard, Power of the Dog I really liked, Dune, obviously Dune, and Coda is the biggest thing that sticks out to me. I absolutely adored Coda. I have not seen Belfast. I'm finishing Nightmare Alley. I started it just the other day. Drive My Car I have not seen, so those are all going to jump out there. And then obviously West Side Story I think it's fine that it's there. I know you're probably hardest singing right now, but I think there was a better version of West Side Story this year in the Heights, and I think that is the movie that should be there over this myself. But I am very much okay that it is there. What are your thoughts on Best Picture?
Well, I'm not as surprised about Licorice Pizza, to be honest. It has seemed like
Have you seen
all
it?
the different voting bodies. I personally haven't seen it, so I don't really know what to say about the movie. I just know that all of the voting bodies have really been enamored by this movie. And I've only heard about the complaints from like, the film Twitter sphere about Licorice Pizza, which maybe they're right, maybe they're not. I'm not sure. Again, I just haven't seen this movie, but seeing it in the the best picture category doesn't come as a shock to me. I think what I was really happy with was Coda and West Side Story being in best picture category, but the one that jumped out to me was actually Nightmare Alley. It felt like it was kind of being slept on a bit more than it probably should have been. It's been nominated for some production stuff, I believe, but I wasn't really expecting Best Picture. I guess I was expecting it to be like the last option, I guess, if people were trying to fill it out to be 10, but I'm still really happy by it. Nightmare Alley is a very good movie. It makes me want to see the original because I didn't realize until afterwards that it was based on an older movie. And yeah, I guess Don't Look Up. I agree with you. I liked it a bit more than you did, but I also didn't really think of it as best picture worthy. So whenever, I don't know, I see a movie like Don't Look Up and it's, a bit more divided in terms of whether people like it or not, it always kind of rubs me the wrong way that it kind of lands in the best picture category. But I don't know. I guess the voting bodies thought otherwise.
So in many years back to back to back of having foreign films kind of dominate some of these Oscars, I mean, you look at Parasite and things like that, we do get a movie like Drive My Car, which I've never heard
Yeah.
of, which is now
It
jumping
just
to the
snuck
top of the
up.
list. Like I
It snuck
have to
up to
watch
me
this.
anyway.
I have to watch this
Yeah.
movie like ASAP. I'm so pumped for it. But I'm gonna have to watch Licorice Pizza. I've seen just so many critics that I really like. I think that and that are really smart have talked about how bad the movie is, and I'm gonna have to now give a good judge for myself. Belfast is a movie I've been wanting to see. Did you ever see it?
No, unfortunately, I haven't gotten around to it. At first, it was so weird. At first, it started off being like, oh, the clear best picture front runner, like when it first was released in November, and then it just died. Like clearly, it still did fine enough to get nominated, but at the same time, it felt like people were
It was
coming
early,
off of the
yeah.
high that they were on with the movie, and they were like, oh wait, it's good, but it's not as amazing as we picked it out to be. But again, I just haven't seen it quite yet, so I can't
Real
make my own judgment of that.
real quick, who's your front runner? Who of Best Picture do you think is taking this? Give me
I
what give
think
me your
it's
give me your what you think is actually gonna win, and then what you hope will win. And if they're the same movie, great.
mm,
But what do you think will win compared to deserves to win?
I think it's a little murky, but I would say right now the Power of the Dog has the edge on everyone. But what would I want to win? I guess I don't know. Why not Coda? Why not?
Fair enough. I think you're right. I think The Power of the Dog has everything the Oscars like to nominate. For me, it's Dune. Dune is the best movie of all of them, and then Coda is probably a pretty close second for me. King Richard is
Yeah.
also really good. I think seeing that movie get the win would be amazing, but I don't necessarily think anything here is a massive front runner though. Like I don't. I think I'm with you on Power of the Dog, but I don't necessarily think it's got the it's 2 miles ahead of everything. It's not a Parasite or a Moonlight, even though we thought La La Land it had a shot. But I think Power of the Dogs probably leads. So let's keep going here because I know we don't want this video to be forever. So best director, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, and then I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but the director of Drive My Car, which is really cool to see him in there. To me, I guess this makes sense. I guess from based off what we saw, I would not want Paul Thomas Anderson in there from just again what I've only heard. Maybe I'll change my mind, but like where's my Coda director? That movie was directed incredibly. Like I would love to see that, or Guillermo del Toro, or the man who directed King Richard. That movie is fantastic, and a lot of it is the direction. So, what do you think?
Not too many thoughts. I think this is Jane Campion's to lose.
Yeah,
I think I'm saying that
probably. I
correctly.
think she's the front runner.
Yeah, I think it's just clear in terms of this category. Um, I am happy for the director of Drive My Car though. Again, like
Mm-hmm.
it was at least for my radar, like it popped out of nowhere in like the end of December, and then it just has been gaining this momentum. That's really great to see for a foreign language film such as this one. So, like you, it makes me want to check out this movie.
Yeah. Um, I do think Denis Villeneuve should be in there for Dune. I think that's
Could
him.
have been a
I
good
mean,
pick. Yeah.
it's him. Out of any of these people, outside of maybe Spielberg, because Spielberg I thought really controlled West Side Story. That it was not. It really, as good as the performances was, it was Spielberg. You can tell the difference between actors carrying a director and a director carrying the actors. And to me, Spielberg was carrying them a little bit. And
Mhm.
like I would, but Dune is all Denis Villeneuve, and you give him the best picture, but he didn't get best director. So it's just tough for me because I truly believe he should get there. But all right, looking at best actress, we have Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which I've heard is great. Olivia Colman, I didn't even know she was in a movie, but she always is popping in. She's becoming the Meryl Streep. She's just starting to always sneak on in there. I haven't even heard of this movie. Got to check it out. Penelope Cruz, I've heard of Parallel Mothers. I've heard it's pretty good. Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and then Kristen Stewart for Spencer. This is the first time I think ever that I haven't seen a single one of the movies for Best Actress so far. I don't think I've ever not seen one of them. Spencer is something I want to see. I mean, there's a bunch. I want to see all these. I'm going to have to toss all these movies on the top of my list so I can get a fair viewing. So, Kyle, what have you seen anything else besides Spencer?
The Lost Daughter is on my watch list on Netflix. I've been meaning to get around to that one for a while. I've heard great things about Olivia Colman as well as Jessie Buckley,
She's
who
nominated
is
for
in the
Best
movie as
Supporting.
well. Oh, that's good. I definitely
Mm-hmm.
then want to see it. I'm just so freaking happy that Kristen Stewart got nominated for something. It was ridiculous how often she was being snubbed, and it was for like the lesser awards and whatnot. I mean, I probably shouldn't use the word lesser, but they're not the Oscars, so it's not like the biggest award of the biggest awards that she was not getting nominated at all. But it still was just so weird that Spencer was just not getting any sort of love. So hey, she got the nomination. I'm completely happy with that. I've heard different things about The Eyes of Tammy Faye, though. I've heard that the movie's actually not that good. So seeing Jessica Chastain's name get thrown in there was always kind of a head scratcher to me. And honestly, same with Being the Ricardos and Nicole Kidman. I know Nicole Kidman has been getting a lot of love for that movie, and maybe the performance is just that good, but I haven't heard many stellar things about Being the Ricardos either. So I don't know. Maybe there could have been other options, like maybe Tessa Thompson could have been thrown in for passing. Maybe
or our
one
main
of the
girl from
women, or both,
Coda.
or the girl from Coda.
Where
Yeah,
is
that's
she?
true. I was about to say maybe the women from the movie Mass, which is underrated, but that might be more for supporting category anyway. So yeah,
To me, the thing that sticks out the most here is King Richard and Coda. Where are our young actresses who are stellar? That's what sticks out to me. I'll have to watch these. We'll move on to Best Actor. So we've got Harvey Arbidem for Being the Ricardos. We got Benedict Cumberbatch, Power of the Dog. Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. Where the heck is Tick, Tick, Boom been? How is that not? How is Lynn not in Best Director? And how is that movie not
that could
in
have
Best
been,
Picture? How?
yeah, could have been a good one.
Will Smith for King Richard, Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. I really want to see Tragedy of Macbeth. I've heard it's a really cool adaptation of Macbeth. I love seeing Andrew Garfield in there. Benedict Cumberbatch, I feel like sticks out as the front runner right now, and I'm not a big fan of that because I truly believe Andrew Garfield has the best performance of anybody in this group of what I've seen. So right now he's my front runner, and I think he should take it because I think he was just clearly the best.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Garfield's performance was my favorite out of this group. I could instead see the Academy choosing Benedict Cumberbatch because Power of the Dog is getting so much love. Or I guess Will Smith could be a sneaky pick too, because the Academy could think he's finally earned his due to finally win one instead of being nominated so many times. So I don't know. I'm kind of worried about
Will Smith has never won an Oscar?
I believe only nominated. I don't think he's won, has he?
I don't know. You keep talking. I'll look it up. I would have guessed he would have for
Pursuit
of Happiness.
But if what I'm saying is correct and I'm not having a brain fart, then it makes me worried about Andrew Garfield personally. I would like to see him win, but it could also go to one of those two.
Yeah, if maybe they think it's a weaker year, they give it to a guy like Will Smith, who's been around for a while and never won one. Pull a little Leo move. I mean, this is his third nomination. I completely spaced Tick, Tick, Boom until I saw Andrew Garfield's name, and now I am very upset. I think there's just some massive snubs right now. The lack of love, I think, for Coda, the lack of some Dune stuff, I think belongs here, and King Richard with the young girls not getting nominated, although I think maybe I might have jumped the gun on that looking at the next one. Best Supporting Actress, we got Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kristen Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and do you want to take a butcher at this name?
Oh, I always butcher it too. If I had to pronounce, it's probably Anjanae Ellis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
We're sorry.
We are
sorry. I truly am.
We are sorry.
But for King Richard, my guess, I think she's a lead in that movie. I don't think it's just Will. I think both the girls that play his daughters really stick out as leads. And my feeling is that she's in here to maybe win. I think she's got a real good shot because I think she's a lead in the movie. Kristen Dunst, again, Power of the Dog feels like a front runner. But right now I would go all for King Richard right now, myself, in Best Supporting Actress.
She plays the mom in King Richard.
No, I had him confused. The mom was excellent, but where are the girls?
She is great.
Where are the girls? Stop.
Oh, they weren't ever gonna choose either of the girls. I mean, maybe the one that
idiotic
plays Venus, but
Yeah, idiotic.
It wasn't going to happen.
She's a lead in the movie, and she's killer. Don't say that to me. They need to grow up at the Academy. Never going to happen.
I don't disagree.
You don't see the voting. How do you know it wasn't close? You have no clue. Never going to happen.
Never
going to happen. Get out of town. I'm done with this. Then I'm done. It's just going to go to Kirsten Dunst in a not happy owl event.
I think it will be Kristen Dunst's as well. But I am happy for Jessie Buckley. She's been rising as an actress these past few years, so good for her.
The movie. All right, best supporting actor. Kieran. I'm just not good. The man from Belfast. We've got Troy Kutzer for Coda, which I think is incredible that he is in there. Awesome. I think that is awesome. Yeah. Jesse Plemons, Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons being the Ricardos, and then Cody Smith McPhee for the Power of the Dog. I actually think Cody Smith McPhee being here is probably the best support. But to me, Coda is the front runner. Jesse Plemons is probably the one who's going to sneak away because of Power of the Dog. But for Coda, Troy, this is you, my guy. I think this is all you. Go win it for all the snubs for your movie. What do you think?
Yeah, Troy Kutzer, I'm very happy to see. He has been getting quite a bit of traction in all the voting bodies, which has been terrific. So I was hoping that he could land here too. Cody Smith McPhee, though, I think it's just going to be the clear winner here. It's always felt like he's been winning every single one of these. So there hasn't been really much competition behind him. Although seeing Jesse Plemons also get a nomination and J.K. Simmons is surprising. I haven't seen J.K. Simmons' name really pop up. And Jesse Plemons, I mean, I love him. He's such a great character actor, but I just have not seen his name appear anywhere. I mean, the conversation was more about the two actors in Belfast both getting supporting nominations. So I don't think anyone was expecting both actors of The Power of the Dog to be popping up in here.
And remember, only the actors, the actresses vote for each other. So it's the actors who are part of the Academy that made these decisions. It's not, and then everybody picks the winner. But I think, I don't know. I got to see some of these movies. So let's kind of speed through these kind of smaller categories here. So costume design, Cruella, Crano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story. I go Dune all day long over the rest.
I like this list. I
do too.
I think every one of these is deserving of it. Yeah, I mean, I could see it going to Dune. I could see Cyrano making a surprise appearance. The movie still hasn't really come out nationwide, so I would love to see it. But I think Dune could win like some technical stuff more than costume. So maybe it can go to like Cyrano or a West Side Story. I can see them choosing something like that.
No. Best sound, Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, Power of the Dog, West Side Story. To me, it's Dune. I think the sound design alone is just incredible in Dune. I'm still mad that they switch these categories, combine these two categories, because sound editing and sound mixing are so drastically different. But still, I think it goes to Dune here.
I think so too. It just keeps making me wonder why movies like Coda or A Quiet Place never pop up in these. I wonder if I wonder if they're thinking like, oh, you just turn off the sound and then it's easy. That it has to be something more to that, right? So
the sound design in Coda is elite.
Mm-hmm.
But we look at last year with a similar movie in, similar involving deaf people with Sound of Metal, and it wins these technical awards. So maybe they're just like, no, you don't deserve it. Best original screenplay, we got Don't Look Up, we've got Dune, Encanto, which is very nice to see, Power of the Dog, and Parallel Mothers. To me, it's Dune. I think Don't Look Up has no business being. Oh, this is score. I said screenplay.
Yeah, wait, I was
score.
Yeah,
score. Don't Look Up. Didn't enjoy the score. To me, it's Dune again. Dune's score is incredible. I mean, I've listened to it on repeat. To me, it's Dune. Dune are winning these technical awards, or I'm rioting in the streets. What do you think?
It could go to Dune. I think also a pick would be The Power of the Dog as well. And
Power of the
Kanto
Dog is just
getting
gonna be
original
there.
score is also great to see. That's cool.
Got music accidentally playing. Yeah, and Kanto I think it makes sense. It's got a really, really great score. For
I just
best
don't normally
adapted,
see animated movies, so it's nice.
yeah. Best adapted screenplay, we got Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, Power of the Dog. Again, we're gonna probably preach it to the end here, where Power of the Dog, it feels like it's gonna sneak away with everything, but I just don't know if that's gonna actually happen. I think Dune's screenplay is elite. I think it's an incredible adaptation of a very hard novel to adapt, having just finished the book. I would like Coda to be the one right behind there personally, but it's got to be for Dune for me. I mean, especially when you're talking adaptions, and I know how difficult it is to adapt that screenplay. We've seen so many failed versions of Dune before, and we finally have a very great elite one. So I lean towards Dune. It's cool seeing Maggie Gyllenhaal in there though for The Lost Daughter.
Yeah, I forgot that she was the one who
Maggie
directed
Gyllenhaal.
it and I guess wrote it too, which I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool
What
to
do you
see.
think? What sticks out to you?
Oh, nothing really, to be honest. I mean, I
Wow.
still need to see Drive My Car and The Lost Daughter. I could see it going to just about any one of these, to be honest.
I like that.
I don't think there's a clear winner here in this category.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why they don't
But
have
Dune would be
the
great.
writers on the other one. For best original screenplay, we got Belfast for Kenneth Branagh, Don't Look Up, Adam McKay, Licorice Pizza, King Richard, and The Worst Person in the World. I haven't even heard of The Worst Person in the World, so I'm gonna have to check that out and see what this writing is all about. I don't think Don't Look Up belongs here at all. To me, I think King Richard is the runaway frontrunner, and I'm trying to go off of what I've heard too. You know, I'm pretty connected in paying attention to these, just as Kyle is to the what's a winning awards, what isn't, what are critics saying, what are fans saying, and to me, I truly believe King Richard is the best screenplay of these movies, and from what I've heard, so to me, that's what I'm going with. That's what should win, in Al's opinion. Maybe I'll
The
change my
worst
tune. Doubt it.
the worst person in the world is similar to Drive My Car, where it just appeared. It's also a foreign film, so that's probably part of the reason
Love
why.
foreign
But
film.
it's a foreign film that kind of released very late in the year, and now it's like really starting to make its stride. I actually thought that we would see a bit more nominations for this movie instead of like only this one particular nomination, but at least it did get something, I suppose. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if maybe that's going to be the winner because it's its
Maybe
only nomination.
the
Because
Academy
I
is
don't know,
kind of.
I don't hear people screaming about Belfast or King Richard or even Licorice Pizza.
They
I mean, Don't
should
Look
be
Up.
screaming around King Richard. Stop. It's
It's
so
it's
good.
it is very good, but I just don't hear the talk for it in that way.
Don't Look
So
Up
I don't
has
know. Maybe
no business being here. And I think Adam McKay is a genius when it comes to some of his writing. I mean, the Big Short is so good. And I think he was trying to do the same tone as The Big Short, and it just didn't land for me. Don't Look Up, I thought, was one of the worst movies of the year. I truly thought it
wow.
was. I did not think
Mhm.
it was very good. So I'm just, again, it's not the message. It's not that who it's poking fun at. I'm on all those sides. It's just, I just didn't think it was very good. I even thought performances were lacking. But anyway, best animated short. I don't know. We're moving on. Live action short film editing. Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, Power of the Dog, and Tick Tick Boom. Please give it to Tick Tick Boom. That's what I just wanted to go to because I feel so sad that it's not there.
Yeah.
For best makeup and hairstyling, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, House of Gucci, which is the only nomination it gets. I know a lot of people thought Lady Gaga was going to be around here, and she wasn't.
Yeah, it's true.
Coming to America, Cruella, and Dune. Now, Cruella and Dune are the only two repeats from best costume design to best hair and makeup. And a lot of the times, it's usually the same movie that wins both, which now tells me that these two are the front runners here, that these two are the ones sticking out and battling it out. And I think Cruella actually deserves to be here. I didn't love the movie. I thought it was okay, but I think it deserves to be in this category for sure. I think something like Tick Tick Boom would have been great in this spot for hair and makeup and costume, but Al doesn't get what he wants ever from the Academy Awards. They always snub my girls. That's a theme on here. All my girls. What was the year where I had like four actresses or something that I thought all should have been in over who was nominated? Do you remember that year? It's a couple years
Every
ago.
year. It's every
It's
year.
not every year. There was one year though, it was legit, like really legit. I'll have to think about it and text you later
Yeah.
because I can't remember. But what are your thoughts here?
No, I agree with you about makeup and hairstyling. It's probably could go to Cruella or Dune, and I'm happy to see them both get that nomination. Again, Eyes of Tammy Faye. I've just heard people making fun of the makeup and hairstyling, so I guess the Academy thinks otherwise. I don't know.
I'm gonna add so many movies to my watch list. All right, let's finish this up here quick. I do want to say this though. Maybe the Academy goes, hey, we love Cruella's costume, or vice versa, or we love Dune's costumes. We're gonna give it to Dune. We're gonna give Cruella the other one since they're the double nominees. Maybe one sneaks away with both. Let's get into Best Animated Feature, which I always feel like is part of the big groups, but they always put it so far down, which is ridiculous. But Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya the Last Dragon. I think I'm with Kyle on Mitchells versus the Machines here. I feel like it's the best of all these movies because it's just so dang fun. But I think Encanto has the momentum, has everything they love, and I think Encanto will probably win as much as I think Mitchells versus the Machines is a better film. What do you think?
I don't disagree, but everything in my body is going to make sure that Mitchells versus Machines gets that win. Everything.
That's how I feel with Dune. So, all right. Best documentary feature. I haven't heard anything about any of these. I have not been paying attention to the documentary scene, but I'm definitely going to watch all 5 of these if I can. Have you heard anything, or should we just move on?
The only titles I've recognized is Flea and Summer of Soul, but I couldn't tell you who's the front runner.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch them. All right, best original song, "Be Alive" from King Richard, Dos Aguatas. I can't say things today; it's too early. Lin-Manuel, "Down to Joy" for Belfast, "No Time to Die," little Billie Eilish, and "Somehow You Do" for Four Good Days. Never heard of. I feel like anything in Canto is gonna steal it. You know what I mean?
The kids of the voters are going to make sure it gets the win.
It probably. Ooh, see, this is another one I feel should be in the big category, which is best cinematography. So Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. I've heard the cinematography in the Tragedy of Macbeth is incredible. I think Spielberg would have a better shot, or not Spielberg, our cinematographer, but I think West Side Story would have a better shot if it wasn't for all the lens flares. He went a little too J.J. Abrams in that movie. I thought it had a little too many lens flares, but to me, it's Dune. Dune created worlds. I think Dune is the clear cinematography winner. I get Power the Dog is great scenery. Guess what? I live in Montana. I see that every day. No biggie. It's no biggie. In fact, our mountains are
Hollywood people haven't seen that every day. So
they have. They all have houses over here. To me, that is the winner myself. So, but what do you think?
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Is this cinematographer a collaborator of Steven Spielberg's? Because I'm wondering if this could be like a legacy vote situation. You know what I mean?
If it is, then I feel like they would have probably already won before.
Yeah, I just don't
collaborated on everything. I mean, did War Horse, Schindler's List, Minority Report, Saving Private Ryan, has won 2 Oscars for cinematography in, I mean, was nominated for Lincoln, War Horse, Driving Belle and the Butterfly, 1 for Saving Private Ryan, did Amistad, and 1 for Schindler's List, and did even more of his movies. So I don't know if they go legacy because it sounds like this is a pretty more recent winner. Or not recent winner. Maybe they give him just a new one. I think you go with Dune. But what do you think?
Oh boy, I don't know. In that case, I'm just wondering if it could go to the Power of the Dog because that's been the front runner for almost everything, or maybe this is where they try to switch it up and pick like a Tragedy of Macbeth or something. I mean, like you're saying, you've heard that it's
I
phenomenal.
have. I want
So
to see it.
yeah.
Here's something interesting. Moving on to best international feature. You have Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Lulana, The Yak in the Classroom. I got to see that off the name. What is a yak doing in a classroom? The worst person in the world. Flee is what stood out because Flee was in best documentary. And we don't see documentaries really, I don't think ever has been nominated for the obviously best picture, but to be in best documentary and best international feature film, I think is pretty cool. And to me, that sticks out. And now Flea is now a movie I desperately want to see. The second I saw that, I'm like, I have to see this movie because if it's that good, we could see it get a double win here. It'll probably go to Drive My Car because it has the double nomination for Best Picture in here. But now I am very, very interested in Flea. What do you think about Best International?
It is very impressive. I didn't realize until now that you pointed it out.
You're
So
welcome.
that's good to know. I wonder if that's the case, then maybe Flea could win documentary, and then Drive
Yeah,
My Car could win
wins
international,
here, probably.
and then Best Picture goes to like Power of the Dog or
And I
something.
hope that's not no. Dune, stop. Dune, get out of here with your dog powers. And I really like Power of the Dog, but liked it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I'll text you what I was gonna say later. Remind me, I'll text you.
All right.
So we have two left. Let's get these done. The very last one, I finally see a nomination that belongs. But best production design, we have Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. I actually think West Side Story, this is probably the biggest shot of any of the ones so far myself that I think it has, because I think the production was fantastic. But again, Dune. I think it goes to Dune here. I think all of these could win. I want to see Tragedy of Macbeth. Usually when you have great cinematography, you have a great production. So that's where I'm sitting right now. But what do you think?
I think this list is pretty solid, actually.
Me too.
Best production design. Yeah, I could see that going for Dune, actually. And then like some that could sneak in for a win could be like West Side Story or Nightmare Alley, because both of those are very impressive too. But I think this one could go to Dune. There's a lot that had to go into making um, all of those worlds and that tone come to life because of it. So I could see
So
that.
last award, best visual effects. Dune, Free Guy, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, No Time to Die, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home, again, is a superhero movie to me that should be in more nomination spots, and it's not. I truly believe it was that good. I knew it was never going to happen. Unlike My Girls from King Richard, which I think was really a possibility. I knew Tom
Mm-hmm.
Holland would never get nominated for an acting spot, but he really, best performance I've seen him ever give, over Endgame, over Infinity War. I thought this was his best. I think this is a pretty even spot. No Time to Die, maybe not so much, but to me, it's Spider-Man No Way Home is going to get its one and only win. Especially if Dune is on a roll. I think if Dune is on a roll, they're probably going to toss it to Spider-Man. If Dune, to me, it's those two, Dune or Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm very happy with either, but I would love to see Spider-Man get a win for its only nomination. But if Dune starts not getting on a roll, then kick Spider-Man out the door. I want Dune to win. But what do you think?
I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud, but
You're gonna say
Godzilla
Free
versus
Guy.
Kong got snubbed.
Kyle, that might be the most attractive thing you've ever said. I can't believe what you just said right now. You're right. Get No Time to Die out of there. Where is my boys?
Honest, like
where are my
some
boys?
Some of the visual effects are better, I think, than like
The No
maybe
Time
even
to
Free
Die,
Guy
yeah?
or Shang-Chi. Yeah,
Free
No Time
Guy's
to Die
visual
too.
effects were really good. And I thought Shang-Chi had really
Yeah.
good visual effects. Kick No Time to Die out of there and give me my boys. I'm in on with Kyle right now. I'm in.
I think there's an argument to be made that
an
at
argument.
least
No,
get nominated.
it's the worst snub in Oscar history right here.
There we go.
We're saying it on the show. The worst snub in Oscar history is no Godzilla versus Kong in best visual effects and best picture. We're taking it a step further. Where is Godzilla versus Kong for best picture, baby? Anyway, continue with your thought.
Honestly, that's the only thought I have. I mean, these are all big budget CGI movies, so it's not surprising that they get nominated here. I could see it going to Spider-Man as well, because it has that story of, you know, the everyone coming back to the theaters. The theaters got brought back to life because
Yeah.
of Spider-Man, and the special effects I think were better than, you know, the likes of a Shang-Chi even. And the movie was just good too.
And
So if Dune does
Spider-Man,
get
go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was just finishing up by saying if Dune doesn't get or does get nominated for some of the other stuff, then yeah, it could go to Spider-Man.
Spider-Man has the added benefit of it continuing to stay in the news because of the box office. Because
Yeah.
since December, I mean, it is potentially going to be the biggest domestic opening of all or movie of all time. It might pass Avatar, which is something that we were all losing our minds at when Endgame even had the possibility in domestic and worldwide, or Star Wars. And nobody, I mean, outside of the few outlets, like nobody's really talking about it because everybody is so like not thinking of box office and things like that right now. So
Yeah.
I think it is a huge feat for Spider-Man. I've seen it twice now. I finally went to go see it again. I went by myself and just had an absolute great time. Just a great time. There's nothing better than a movie by yourself. It is one of life's true gems. It really is.
Yeah.
People put a bad stereotype on it, but trust me, go enjoy yourself. I love all the nominations for Dune. But I think we're good here. Wrap it up. When the Oscars on March 27th happen, we will do a show right after to just kind of wrap everything up. So I'm excited. I love it. March 27th is the Sunday before I go back to work on my spring break. So I will be ready to go.
There we go.
Yeah. So guys, what do you think though of all these snubs and whatnot? Do you agree that Godzilla versus Kong is the greatest snub in Oscar history? Please comment below. Let us know. Thank you, Movie Meal patrons. Go get some Movie Meals merch. All that great stuff is linked in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.